Hello people on the internet, my name is Vidisha and welcome to my journey for the love of plants. Before I dive into the video, I would like to request you, if you haven't subscribed, please do so and you will get planty contents every week on your news feed. You can also go and check out my Instagram account. I will leave the link in the description box below. Today I wanted to talk to you about some of my favorite plants. I'm sitting with some of them and I haven't exactly counted how many. They are my favorite because they are with me for quite some time now and they are quite easy for me to care. I will also share the care tips that I usually follow for these plants. Let's get started. The first plant I have here is this Philodendron hederaceum. Earlier I think it was called Philodendron oxycardium. This is the lemon lime version. I had talked about my favorite Philodendron hederaceum, the green leaf version, in my first video. I will leave the link of that video also in the description box below. I love the green on this plant. This has beautiful lemon lime green and it's in a big pot now because I had to support this. This is not on a moss stick, this is actually coco coir stick, and I had used this. It doesn't look pretty, I know, but I had used this because I found this in my nearby nursery and it was quite cheap. It was I think around 30 rupees or 40 rupees for this big coco coir stick. And I know many people use moss sticks, moss poles. They are not so readily available here and I had purchased a few but they did not work for me. Recently I have noticed that I don't know what is your experience, I would love to know from you also, but I feel what the plants require is they just want to climb on to something and they want to hold on to something. That can be coco coir stick, that can be a wall, that can be a wooden plank, anything. So because I will show you a plant which was growing on my wall, and so I feel these coco coir sticks are good for them because they are quite strong to grip onto, and I do not wet these coco coir sticks. Sunlight. I do not wet these coco coir sticks or I do not spray them with water. I'm too lazy for that. I just leave them like this, and initially I just tie them up so that they get latched onto the pole and then they start climbing on their own. Recently I have moved on from coco coir stick to something else. I will show you in my next plant. Coming to the care of this plant, the soil I use is well draining airy soil mix, and I water it only when the soil is dry, about 2/3 dry, not completely dry, because it's very hot and humid in my area. If I let it dry out completely, then I have seen that some leaves turn yellow and die. So I do not let it dry out completely, maybe 2/3 dry, and then I also fertilize it from time to time. In fact, I use a mild fertilizer every time I water because I know there are people who fertilize every month or 2 months, but I can't keep track of that schedule. So what I do with most of my plants is I use a mild dosage of organic fertilizer every time I water. This one is easy to propagate. In fact, I have propagated this multiple times. I'll just show you. This one is something that I am trying to do. I have propagated and planted these two kinds of hederaceums, two colors, lemon lime and the green one together, and I want to see how this looks when it grows bigger. Now because this one is climbing up, the leaves are of course bigger, and I feel because the pot is also quite big, that also helps with the leaf growth, but mainly I think because it is climbing up. And let's see how this does when this grows. So what you can do is, I don't know how to fit this. Is this visible now? Yeah. So these leaves, this one has grown out. So these have these nodes or these bumps here. At each leaf point there is a bump and there are small aerial roots. So I can just cut anywhere below that node and I'll put that node in water or directly. Mostly what I do is, if I am going to grow it in soil, I just put directly in soil. If I am growing it in semi hydroponics way or passive hydroponics way, I am going to put it in water. The next plant I want to talk to you about is this philodendron, and this one has, again, the new leaf that comes out is quite beautiful, lemon lime, and you see a pattern. So this one has beautiful petioles also, which has these little red color and little bumps, reddish bumps. This one is presently tied to this pole, coco coir pole that I was talking about. This is actually a coco coir rope that I had wrapped around a plastic pole, and it has already stuck its roots. The roots are growing down below here and it's doing quite well. I have used a terracotta pot for this plant, because I noticed that this plant doesn't like to stay moist for that long, maybe because of the soil mix that I have used. I have used rice hull, coco coir, vermicompost, perlite and a bit of horticultural charcoal. Maybe because of that it was staying moist for a bit longer. Maybe I did something wrong with the ratio. And also because I broke the plastic pot it was in, I transferred it to this terracotta pot, and since then it has been doing quite well. And I water it only when this I see that this terracotta pot is completely dry. Whenever you water a plant in a terracotta pot, it's easier to track, I feel, because this one is all the mineral build up which I need to clean, but this one looks still wet here because I have watered it yesterday. So when it is dry, this terracotta pot looks completely different, and that's when I water it. I avoid poking my finger here. This one has beautiful leaf shape, and I keep this again about 2 feet away from my southwest facing window. Sometimes I move it forward, sometimes I move it backward. I move this plant around a lot, and I think because of that at times it grows weird shaped leaves again. Talking about weird leaves, look at Philodendron mexicanum. This one is again stuck to this coco coir stick. It has big beautiful leaves. This plant I feel requires a bit more sun than the plants that I just talked about, because whenever I have given this a bit lesser light, I have seen that the leaf shape changes. Though it has beautiful red undersides, I think it will need more sunlight to maintain this beautiful shape of the leaves. And because it requires more light, and because it is in terracotta pot, I water this more frequently than the other philodendrons. I feel this kind of philodendrons really like climbing up, so giving them a support helps. The next plant I want to talk to you about is one of the oldest plants that I have, and I don't know how to fit this in the frame. I just wanted to show you the new leaf. I hope it is visible. This is Epipremnum pinnatum. This is with me for about 5-6 years. It was growing on my balcony. It had stuck itself on my balcony and it was climbing up. I have chopped it multiple times, but this time I thought I should take it down, and I had to rip out the aerial roots that it has, and which were stuck on the wall, and I tried to put it on this coco coir stick, which it is not sticking onto anymore, but I hope it does in future. I was very irregular with the watering of this plant. That is the main reason I would say that it was not getting fenestrations, because it was getting quite enough light in the northeast facing balcony. Now these plants usually climb on the tree trunks and they do not get a lot of light. So I think northeast facing balcony, my balcony was giving it enough light. I don't know, maybe it requires more light than that. But as far as I know, if you are irregular with your watering, you will not get these beautiful fenestrated leaves which they are actually famous for. I will try to keep up with the watering better now. I have repotted this in my airy aeroid soil mix. I have propagated this plant multiple times by just taking a node cutting, and I usually cut below the node where there are aerial roots. Node again are those bumpy little things from where aerial root comes out and a leaf comes out. So I just take a node cutting and I place it directly in soil, and this one is quite easy to propagate. The next plant is Ficus elastica shiveriana. This one has beautiful color combination on its leaves. This one enjoys direct sunlight quite a lot, and I have placed this directly in my southwest facing window where it gets bright direct sunlight for about 2-3 hours every day. I have shifted this to leca because when I was growing this in soil, I would let the soil dry out completely, and maybe because of the weather here, it did not like it. It used to drop leaves, the lower leaves. So I have shifted this to leca, and I feel that it has been happier since then. Now, since I am talking about my favorite plants, how can I forget a Hoya? And this one is ever so famous, Hoya kerrii, or the sweetheart Hoya, the heart leaf Hoya. This one, I have multiple of this plant in different corners of my home, because who doesn't love a heart leaf plant? I think I have a number of this Philodendron hederaceum neon lime growing in different corners of my home, and this plant can compete with that because I have quite a few cuttings of this plant growing in different corners in different light conditions. This one sits directly in my southwest facing window where it gets a lot of light. One I have in my northeast facing balcony, one in east facing window, and all of them I feel are doing quite well. I feel that is because the humidity here is quite high, and plants like Hoyas, they prefer higher humidity. This one has quite succulent leaves, so I am quite careful while watering this plant, and also because I feel that Hoyas, when they have these woody kind of stem, you have to be more careful while watering than when you have a Hoya that has tender stem, because this one tend to rot quite easily, rot faster in my experience. So what I have done here, because this is a ceramic pot, I have put a layer of pumice stone here, then I have used the soil mix here with lot of pumice and horticultural charcoal, a bit of coco coir, a bit of tiny bit of vermicompost, a bit of coconut husk, and that's it. So the water drains out quite fast. The coco coir holds on to a bit of moisture but not as much to rot the roots. I water this only when I see that the top layer is completely dry. I have one in semi hydroponics also, and that one is also doing quite well. For propagating Hoyas, especially this heartleaf Hoyas, I feel it is important to have a node. Quite a controversial topic, but I know there are people who sell just one leaf cut from here, and they put it in the soil and they sell it like that, just like a heart. But then I'm doubtful if that grows into a plant. I know some people, they feel that they have bought those plants where with one leaf, and their one leaf plant has grown into a beautiful plant. But I feel that has happened because they had a bit of node or some cells from the node stuck to their leaf. But if I just take one leaf from here, it's not going to grow into a plant. I need to have a bit of the node. So for this plant, I will take maybe a cutting from here where there is a leaf coming out, and I will put that in the soil or water, and it will grow into a new plant. Maybe it will take some time. For this Hoya, I have seen that it takes a bit more time to root directly in soil. It rather roots quite fast in water. For fertilizing this Hoya, I fertilize it with a very mild organic fertilizer every time I water, just like all my other plants. For pest control of all these plants, I use neem oil. I will talk about those products that I use in my future videos. Let me know which is your favorite plant in the comment section below, and also why is it your favorite? Is it the shape of the leaves, color of the leaves, or the weirdness of the leaves? Which one? Thank you so much for joining me today. See you in the next video. Bye.